CET and entrance exam, where problem number 16. 1 mole of ammonia and 1 mole of hydrogen chloride are mixed in a closed container to form ammonium chloride gas. Then what is the relation between H and U? H is called internal energy, enthalpy, and U is called internal energy. And the relation between them is H is equal to U plus PV. Some letter I wrote small letter. Why is that? Even capital small have meaning. What happens? Capital means, note that, total. Small means per kg. So one. Other concept is small is generally for intensive, capital is for extensive, which means there are two kinds of properties, extensive properties and intensive properties. Extensive properties depend upon mass. How to remember this? After 6 months, if I ask again, you forget. So my point is make some mnemonic. I'll suggest you a mnemonic. Christmas, for example. Learn from anything, everything to update it. Christmas, what can I learn from Christmas? Extensive properties are mass dependency. Just remember X mass. Extensive properties are mass dependent, which means intensive properties are mass independent. So there are two types of properties, extensive and intensive. So enthalpy is an extensive property. Internal energy is an extensive property. Volume is an extensive property, but pressure is an intensive property. So that is why pressure I can write small because it doesn't, whereas for internal energy, enthalpy and this, if I write small, meaning is different. For example, sometime you see this equation. What does this mean? This means this extensive property I have divided by mass so that I get per kg. So U also per kg, V is per kg. This is total, this is per kg. Please note down X mass. Extensive properties. Extensive properties, if you divide by mass, they become intensive, which means now this does not depend, this is independent because it is per kg, which means the extensive property per kg becomes intensive property. Point 2. Point 3, there is a doubt whether mass itself is an extensive or intensive property. Mass depends upon mass, like we depend on mass. So mass is an extensive property. Please note down. Okay, after this, let us work this problem. Okay, yeah. So now, if I take delta H, you know that I can write delta H is equal to using that and using temperature constant here, I can write RT to the power of delta N. So this is the equation to be used. Now, how did I get this? H is equal to U plus PV. Then I took change. Delta H is equal to delta U plus delta PV. PV equal to nRT. And here, when I use the closed container, I assume constant temperature. So RT in such reaction it is used. So RT delta N because RT is a constant. Now, how to do this quickly now? Look, see the answers. Answer, they want only which is greater or smaller. They are not interested how much greater or how much smaller. So I will give a very simple way. Just write this equation. NH3 plus HCl. Gases here, all are gases. Then delta N is nothing but change in moles. Change in moles of product minus reactant. Product, how many moles are there? NH4Cl, there is 1 mole. And HCl, 1 mole. NH3, 1 mole. So, product 1 mole. Reactant 1 plus 1, 2 moles. So, delta N is equal to product moles minus reactant moles. That is minus 1. So, now, I will just use here. What is the equation? I would... Bharat, I am not able to erase this. Now I can do. Yes, now I can do. Good. So now I will write here delta H is equal to delta N, that is minus 1. Now to do quick calculation, which is necessary in CU, I assume RT as 1. It look absurd how RT can be 1. RT will not be 1. But what I want, I have checked with several calculations here. It doesn't change your answer. So just to understand, Put delta u some value. For example, 5. 5 minus 1. RT is 1 you take. RT cannot be 1, but RT you can assume as 1 for quick calculation. It doesn't affect your calculation. 5 minus 1 is 4. So delta H is smaller than delta U, or delta U is greater. So this is that. Delta H is equal to delta U plus RT delta N. Assume RT2 for a quick calculation 1. And delta N you can keep RT as RT. Okay. How many times delta H minus delta, how many times RT is asked? In that case, you will always yes. Okay. So that is the answer.